Mini Twins. Steve's waiting for him down on the grid.
Well, we've got a full grid, and when I say full, I mean it. Jake Dixon is on pole position on the Aprilia 450, number 35. Second position here, James Folkard. You could call this home turf, although it's pretty wet. Here we go. In third place is Mr. Rothwell. Reece Rothwell, number 6, going very well on Aprilia 450. And then Michael Clifford doing exceptionally well towards the end of this season. He's also on the front row, plus all the usual candidates in the Mini Twins and the GP3 class.
Fantastic, thanks very much, Steve. Yes, it's a huge grid and lots of likely prospects. We've got Josh Daly, Sam Cox, Luke Thackeray and Jordan Hull on the second row. Then Connor Tagg, Dave Allingham, Jamie Thackeray, Tom Streddle on the third row. Bryn Owen, Curtis Rothwell, Adam Polverman, Andy Whitehead on the fourth row. Then Will Hodgson, Joe Ravenscroft, Marty Lennon, Claire Donnelly, and there's still another dozen or more riders down there. It is a biggie, and they get away from the start. James Folkard, number 43, once again, Steve, he shows he is the man you want to be at the front.
Yes, always gets away from the line very well, does James. There's a lot of Aprilia 450s out there, a mix of machinery. The GP3s, of course. James Robinson could wrap up the GP3 title. No Ian Popplewell in the Mini Twins this weekend. He had a bit of a nasty tumble during Friday practice and has decided not to race out here today, and who can blame him? These conditions are horrendous.
Yeah, very, very testing indeed, but James Folkard, well, he is pretty sure-footed, and behind him, equally so for young Jake Dixon, number 35 in second place. Folkard, courtesy of that amazing ability.
Oh, we've got a faller there in the background.
I tell you what.
Oh, it's a ghosty. That's Reece Rothwell, number 6. And luckily, that bike didn't rejoin the circuit, because we may have seen it had a bit of a mess there. But Ryder up and okay.
Yeah, good to see that he's okay, but Ryder went down, bike didn't want to. Wanted to keep on going. James Folkard then still leads from Jake Dixon. Then Sam Cox in third place. Sam, such a doughty competitor, one of the most improved riders that we've seen. Mind you, at this stage of the season, we're looking around and we've seen so many great performances. Of course, everyone with half a mind on what they're going to do next year. We've got a great crop of youngsters moving on.
We have, yeah. I mean, the top 10 here, drowned by Aprilia 450s and youngsters that used to be in the super teams. We've got Josh Daly, of course, as you mentioned, number 25 on the Kawasaki. Marty Lennon, always well worth keeping an eye out for the Ulsterman. Number 19, Marty Lennon out there. He will always run well in these conditions. There's Sam Cox, number 54, a rider that was once in the super teams and the Bridgestone Thundersport 500s, which we'll see their race a little bit later on. But Folkard out here, the front. 10-second penalty, Robin, for James Folkard. It's just come up on the timing screen, so that's a little bit of a hamper.
Yes, that's when good turns to bad, doesn't it? Well, his normal great start, obviously fractionally over-optimistic, but there we see a midfield bunch. We're going to have to keep an eye on the screens and the timing to see where James Folkard is placed. But that was the Mini Twin battle, and it's being led at the moment by number 153, Joe Ravenscroft. Youngster out there we've not had with us in the Mini Twins so far this season, but he looks very good indeed.
No, it's his first time on a Mini Twin this year, and he was in the Aprilia Super Team Challenge a year or so back, so we've seen him plenty of times before. He's certainly grown a lot taller since the last time we've seen him, and he's riding very well to lead the Mini Twins here. He's getting in amongst it. He's having a little battle with the GP3 leader at the moment, Bryn Owen, who's another rider that's revisiting the Thundersport GB Championship.
Dave Allingham we saw there, number 30. Here he comes down the hill behind Sam Cox in fourth place, of course contesting the Aprilia Super Teams and Nitro Super Teams this year, but moving up to a bigger bike at the end of the season. Connor Tagg there, tucked in fifth place, just ahead of another youngster, Josh Daly, on that Kawasaki 400.
There's Will Hodgson, number 14, just up ahead of Luke Thackeray, the younger brother of Jamie. Both of them from York. In fact, Jamie's just behind him. On second, we've got a faller there, 129, that's Anthony Porter.
Yeah, he's Mini Twin down, but he's up and okay. And Jake Dixon closing on James Folkard. So the two of them, every time we see them out, whatever the race, they all seem to be neck and neck. And Sam Cox in third. Still we have David Allingham there in 4th place.
Well, Jake Dixon's actually lapping his second lap quicker than Folkard, and he may not be aware that Folkard's got a 10-second penalty, so he doesn't need to do anything too silly if he wants to win this. These two guys not even really featuring that highly in the championship. Jake Dixon has entered a couple of rounds this season. Oh, that's a lovely move up the inside into Cascades there. Nicely done from Jake Dixon. He moves ahead now then of James Folkard. Technically, he was already leading the race due to the penalty for James, but a great move nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd have known about that, Steve Woody, because one of the things here at Oak Park is when you come up Deer Leap and you heel over to the left round the tree and you blast across the start-finish line, you have absolutely no chance, really, of picking up a pit board shown over on the pit ball in your right, particularly in these weather conditions. So I don't think either of them will be aware of the penalty. So it's a good pass, and Dixon leads. He runs up Clay Hill, and Folkard there. Oh, he's giving the old right hand a bit of grief. And there's the battle behind. In fact, that's Will Hodgson. That's slightly further back. There we see Luke Thackeray and Jamie Thackeray. There we are in the mix, but James Folkard has pulled off. He's retired into the pit lane. So right at the end of this one, Steve, we're going to have a change, and there the checkered flag, and Jake Dixon takes the win. A little bit of a lonely win as well up the road. So no finish for James Folkard. It's going to be Connor Tagg, I think, yes, who crosses the line in second, ahead of Sam Cox, third, David Allingham, fourth, Josh Daly, fifth, and Marty Lennon got up into sixth. Well, there we see the podium. Jake Dixon with Connor Tagg and Sam Cox. And in the mini-twins, though, the win to Joe Ravenscroft from Curtis Rothwell and Sam Nicholson. And in the GP3s, a win for Bryn Owen from James Hobson and James Robinson.
Winner of that race, Jake Dixon. We know that you like these conditions, but mass panic this morning, so I hear.
Oh yeah, panic this morning. Well, we went out in warm-up and we'd done 2 laps, and I literally just went into the chicane, and the bike just cut out and was making a horrible noise. So we found out what the problem was. It blew up. So I'd just like to say a big thanks to Chris for lending us the bike. We literally just jumped on it. So just big thanks to Dad and everyone for just getting it all sorted. Otherwise, if we hadn't have had Chris lend us the bike, we wouldn't have even been out or be doing it. We'd have been going home. So.
Joe, it's the first time we've seen you in this paddock since the Aprilia Super Teens, and having fun out there, a good win.
Yeah, it was good. We had a couple of close battles, a couple of close passes and everything. And I'm sorry for anyone who was in the accident with me, but it was just a racing accident and I couldn't do anything about it. First season, as you said, just learning the lines and everything on the new bike, and it's all going good.
Anyone to thank us all then, Joe?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mum, my dad mainly, Shark Helmets, TCX Boots, Bradbury Brothers, DC Motorcycles and Thundersport GB.
Well done to you, Joe. And we'll move on now on to GP3 winner Bryn Owen. Bryn, good to have you back in the Thundersport paddock. Did you have some fun out there battling with all sorts of machinery, no doubt?
Yeah, it was very interesting. You know, I tried to do some tidy laps at the start of the race and then just try and pick them off as I could, you know. I picked a few of the 450s off, and yeah, it was nice. Everything went A-OK.
And anyone to thank us all, Bryn?
Yeah, Bryn Taff Racing, Hugh, my mechanic, and all the sponsors. Thank you very much.